Today I would be taking you through the purchase section. You would have a greater understanding about the purchase section by the end of this video. The purchase section helps you in your operations with your supplier or driver cum owner using Indecab. It is divided into three main sections. They are the purchase duties, purchase invoices, and purchase payments. Purchase duty section will list all the duties that have been completed by a supplier or your driver cum owner using Indecab. To know more about your suppliers or driver cum owner, please click on the link in the description. This section gives you an understanding about your earnings per duty and gives you a bird's eye view about how profitable your relationship is with your supplier. When a duty that is allotted to a supplier gets completed, these duties are automatically listed under the purchase duties section. You need to go to Operations Purchase Duties. There are three columns that you need to look at in this section. They are Estimated Customer Amount, Estimated Amount, and Earnings. Estimated customer amount is the amount that you charge to your customers. The amount displayed here is automatically calculated based on the pricing entered in the customer masters. To know more about masters, please click on the link in the description. Estimated amount is the calculated amount that you pay to your supplier. The amount displayed here is automatically calculated based on the pricing entered in the supplier masters. Earnings is the difference between the customer estimated amount and estimated amount. Apart from these, we have other columns which are part of this section. The status section shows the status of the supplier duties. If the duty has been completed, the status would show as completed, and if the customer invoice has already been created, the status would show as billed. Supplier invoice column displays view if the purchase invoice has been created for that particular duty, or else it would display as pending. The view total button, which is just below the filter button, will show you the estimated customer amount, the estimated supplier amount, and your estimated earnings through all the duties listed. When we look at the small gear icon next to the duties, you would be able to see three options if the supplier invoice is in pending status. The first would be edit duty slip. The changes that you make in this duty slip will only affect the supplier duty slip. These changes would not affect the customer duty slip. The next option is view duty slip. This option lets you grab a quick view about the kilometers and time of the duty along with supplier allowances and billing items. The third option is make adjustment. This option lets you make changes within the supplier allowances. When the supplier invoice is generated, in the small gear icon, you would only be able to see the option that says View Duty Slip. At the bottom of this section, you would be able to view an option called Total View. By clicking on it, you would be able to see the total number of supplier duties that you have currently completed. Next, we look at Purchase Invoices. To go to Purchase Invoices, you need to click on Operations, Purchase Invoices. Purchase invoices are invoices that you receive against the duties completed by your suppliers. Purchase invoices also help you in providing statements to the DCO. I would be sharing the steps involved in creating a purchase invoice. In order to create a purchase invoice, you need to click on Add Purchase Invoice. Once you do that, select the supplier group or supplier name. Select the duties for which you need to create the invoice. Below you would see various tabs. The first tab is Add Row. This option lets you add custom rows for items that would be taxable, and similarly, we also have a non-taxable row option which lets you add non-taxable custom rows. The next we look at is Add Duty option. This option lets you add multiple duties of the supplier to the invoice. The next tab is Add Tax. This tab lets you add the taxes that have been entered in the Tax Master section. Next is Add TDS. If you charge TDS to the customer at the time of making supplier payment, you can add the percentage by clicking on Add TDS. The TDS percentage would be based on what you have entered in your supplier masters for that particular supplier or DCO. The next one is Discount tab. We now move to the next option, that is Add Fuel. If you have made any kind of fuel transactions for that supplier or DCO, you can add that expense by clicking on Add Fuel. When clicking on Add Fuel, you would be able to view all the fuel transactions that you have entered in the vehicle fuel section for that particular supplier. The last one we look at is Add Advance. If there are any advance payments made for that particular supplier, you can simply add the amount by clicking on Add Advance. There would be a pop-up window which will display all the advance payments made for that particular supplier or DCO when you click on it. Once it's done, you need to click on Create Purchase Invoice. The main page of Purchase Invoice lets you view the recently created purchase invoices. You can also view the total amount paid and outstanding of all the supplier invoices by clicking on View Total just below Clear Filters. We have also provided you an option to export the duties for the purchase invoices by clicking on large gear icon next to Add Purchase Invoice. Next to Purchase Invoices Created, you would see the small gear icon which will let you either cancel invoice or export that particular invoice. The total option provided below lets you see the total number of purchase invoices that you currently have. The third part we are going to look at is Purchase Payment section. To access this section, you need to go to Operation Purchase Payment. This section helps you record the advance payments received and payments made against the purchase invoices. To add a new purchase payment, you need to click on Add Payment. On this page, you need to select the supplier. Below that, you would be able to view all the pending purchase invoices for that particular supplier. Once you have selected the invoices, you need to select the payment mode and hit Save. If you are creating an advance payment, you need to simply check the box that says is advance. Once you do that, enter the amount, select the mode of payment and hit Save. You would be able to view the list of advances and payments on the main page of this section. We have provided an option to export these details by clicking on the large gear icon next to Add Payment tab. We hope you are now able to get an insight into various options and functions that have been provided to you within the purchase section. I hope you like this video. If there are any queries or doubts, please feel free to call our support number which is mentioned in the description, or you can simply write to us at support@indecab.com.